All right, I think that worked. Okay, guys, welcome to. Oh, what's that going on? Welcome to AdoramaXP. Oh, looks like I'm a little frozen there. Let me make myself a little bigger. All right, so here we are. We are playing some original Dungeons and Dragons from 1974 because that's what we do around here, and we're running actually the very interesting and somewhat controversial module, Palace of the Soul of a Princess. This is the orange version that was reportedly printed and then burned in the dumpsters behind TSR, who were the producers of Dungeons and Dragons back then, for many different reasons. It's a legend, actually. Then another version with the green cover was printed and went public, which is also a really fun adventure. But we're doing the controversial version because that's how we like to roll. Anyways, we're actually a couple in here. Let me know how my sound and everything is, guys. I got a new sound mixer thing from Adorama. PreSonus Revelator IO24. So hopefully it sounds good, and I'm not I'm not being a bad advertisement for it. I might be a little loud. It looks like I'm peeking out a little bit. Turn myself down a bit. All right, so in any case, we will get going here. We'll jump right into it. We are in the basically the third session of this. We're going to run this one for a few more sessions to get us through the module. And let me bring the players on board here so that so they know what I'm talking about in the background here. Let's see if I rearrange. I'm using the Stream Deck, and someday I'll figure out how to use it properly. If I go like that. Oh, that worked. All right, good. And am I there? Can you guys hear me? Players? Yeah, okay. I guess I should have specified when I said you guys. There are many people that so we've got we got our three players here, Rush, Nikki, and Crystal. They have been exploring the palace. They entered in a couple days ago, actually, as it would be, have found some treasure, including a magical dagger that took off kind of a crazed man who seemed to be maybe into torture, which is probably, if you're gonna have to fight and defeat anybody, why not a crazed torturing guy? But also a giant bear the last time, right? There was a giant bear that was defeated. So when we ended up the last session, you guys had climbed these stairs into this tower, basically a guard tower, and I didn't really get too much into it except for to say that there's a great peace here. The cleric, Crystal's character, is a cleric of Hastor. You felt very peaceful, and you were able to rest up there for the night. So if you didn't have any spells or whatever that needed to be restored, that would have happened before we start. And wow, they're getting ready to kill you. The chat is wanting your heads, players. But the players are wise. They are not going to go down that easy. These are highly experienced players. All right, so
we see how it is, chat.
Exactly. The chat's coming at you already. They're not going to live that long.
Bring it.
So yeah, they're expecting a dragon at some point. We will have to see if there's one in here. Could be. Anyways, let's go through and have you guys intro your characters, and then we'll get going. And then we'll kind of start where you're at. So I'll just start up in the corner with Rush. Rush, tell us about your character.
So I am playing the warrior Carl with 3 R's. Carl spent a good portion of his life having served many years as a soldier in the army of the Prince of Galantry, and has since decided to seek adventure. And he gave up his commission. The catalyst to this was he had heard that there was a fierce young lady, a fellow warrior named Alega, who carried a magical sword rumored to be cut from a single ruby. And there are some who believe that she is a descendant of the Silver Princess herself. However, I believe her to be an imposter and not worthy of such a weapon. And clearly, such a weapon deserves to be in the hands of a worthy warrior. And so I seek it and to remove it from her. And along the way, starting off as just your average warrior, your average ex-soldier, I have come into possession the magical bear rug, which has its own sentience, and I call him Bear. And And having discovered that if I wear said rug on my head, I can actually assume the form of a bear. And so I feel awesome about that.
Yes. Who wouldn't feel awesome about being able to turn into a bear, I guess, right? I mean, maybe the natural enemy of bears. Nikki, tell us about your character.
I play Valera. She's an elven magic user, and she is here looking for powerful magical components. She heard that Tassa's palace was destroyed by magic users using powerful spell components, and she's interested in finding these things, as she would like them for herself. Not for any nefarious purpose, of course, just because she's curious.
Of course not, of course not.
And of course, right. And that's Valera. She also obtained the magic dagger named Wasp last session that gives off candle light, and she's pretty happy to have that. So that's Valera. She's an elf.
Excellent. And rounding out the party, we've got Crystal. Crystal, tell us about your character.
I play Awasi. She's a village priest, a pastor, and she has come in search of another great cleric called Catherine Damus, who she has heard is wandering the countryside. And he is also a great man of Hastur who heals the sick and defends the just and does it all selflessly, of course, in the name of Hastur. And she would like to find and meet this Catherine Damus and maybe eventually become his protege.
Nice. Excellent. Okay, so as noted, you have ascended this tower, or you did, in the evening. You could see out over the land, around this castle or keep. There is basically wilderness that has gone terribly wrong, stunted trees and all this other stuff that you traveled through to get here. And you look out and you don't see much out in the horizon except for basically the terrible wilderness. But it feels pretty comfortable up in this tower, and you're able to rest as noted. And like I said, you were able to get a night's rest. Coming back down the stairs, just to kind of recap, essentially you were in a small corridor that had a couple of doors in it. One led back into that room that was kind of like an office. And then there was another one that led into a very, very empty room, which is a very super clean room with a skeleton in the middle of it. And that room had a door which you had not explored. In addition to that, all the ways back out in the hallway, like 2 rooms back, there was another door at the end of the hallway that you also have not explored. So you've got a couple of areas that you haven't hit over in this kind of general area. And you haven't seen any sign of those orcs either.
Well, we must have scared them off.
Possibly.
Yeah, so perhaps Catherine Damus came through here and cleared them all out himself.
I blame the bear.
Could always blame the bear.
Yes, all flee from the might of the bear. I'd flee from him if he wasn't my friend.
Well, we're happy to have you as our friend, Carl.
He reaches up and he pats the head on top. He's like, "Do you hear that, bear?"
Nice.
Which way?
Well, I guess any way seems as good as another. Might as well just keep going the way we were going.
Through the door with the skeleton, the room with the skeleton, which was kind of the way you were going. Or you could backtrack and go through the other door on the hallway.
Yeah, I guess through the skeleton door seems like a good idea. What do you guys think?
I'm always down for a skeleton door.
Right. Yeah, you had looked in this room last time, and you didn't sense that the skeleton was any kind of undead or anything. It's just kind of laying here. It's laying kind of just on the ground, and strangely, it's a skeleton obviously, but there's no dust or anything around it, so it's not like it fell here and somebody decayed into a skeleton. It looks like either somebody cleaned up around it or possibly it was placed here. But in any case, there's a door to the north of that room, if you want to go that way.
good a way as any.
Okay.
Sounds,
Go ahead.
yeah, Wasi will lead the way. She's not afraid.
Okay, excellent. So you come up to this door. It's just kind of a standard heavy oaken door, and open it up. It opens up no problem. You're looking into a hallway. The halfling, I always forget his name. Lynn. After experience points, you remember the halfling's name. Franco Lynn. So Franco Lynn, the halfling, comes up behind with his lantern. And shines into the corridor. You can see that there's about 20 feet to your right, which would be the east, is a door, and going to the left of the hallway continues out. You kind of feel a little bit of a breeze, very very slight, and a little bit damp coming from the west.
What other exits are there besides the damp passage to the west?
Damp passage to the west, or to the right, there's a door.
I'll listen at the door.
You're a dwarf, right, Rush? Or are you human?
No, I'm a human. I think
Oh,
I
okay.
can.
Oh, that's right. There's no dwarfs. They were wiped out by the elves.
Yes.
Oops. Sorry. All right, so you go up to the door. You want to listen to the door? Is that what you said?
Damn it, Valera.
Wasn't me personally. Maybe it was.
Okay, you're listening at the door?
Yeah, I'll listen.
Okay. All right, chat, roll me a d6. So if you want to make a die roll, you're going to roll exclamation point. I can actually show it on the screen. Boop. Exclamation point D, and then the number of the die. So exclamation point D6. Oh, perfect. We got a 4. Okay. You don't hear anything at the door. It sounds silent. And certainly standing out here in the hallway, you can actually feel like that little bit of breeze. It feels like it's kind of creeping under the door, from behind you, basically from the west.
Okay. The door's just a normal door. There's no. Okay.
It's not locked or anything. It doesn't even have a lock on it. It's just basically a pull door.
I'll look at Awasi and I'll say, I think you should open it. I don't think there's anything behind there that's nasty.
All right, I trust your judgment. And she will open the door.
Okay, yeah. You open up the door and you realize that basically when you had come into this kind of area where the office was, you had gone south and kind of around a bit in a circle and came up. This door opens back up into the original hallway, so essentially it's a loop. So if you were to go through this door, you're going to end up going basically back in the direction where you had come from.
See? Nothing nasty.
Sounds good. Well, let's go back to this western hallway then. It's
Okay.
damp and gross. Surely great treasure is there.
Indeed. If only you had a dwarf. Not that I was giving anything away by asking about this dwarf. Go ahead. Chat, roll me another d6 there, has where that took 2 turns, so we're rolling for a random monster. Get my little book out here. Okay, fantastic. All right, so you're heading down. You've got a lantern and everything, and because the lantern is enclosed in glass, it's not being affected by this little bit of breeze. In any case, but it's flickering a little bit. You're not really fearful it's going to go out. But you travel down, looks like about 60 or so feet, and you end up essentially the well-formed corridor more or less ends in a T intersection, and you're looking at what is essentially natural caverns running to the north and to the south. Just to the north, about 20 feet, you can just make out that there's a passageway to the east. So you're coming from the east, so you're heading this way, and then you look up and you can kind of see there's a passage, like another passageway cutting off, or straight south. And you don't hear anything in this corridor, but you do feel that slight breeze.
Does the breeze appear to be coming from one way or the other?
Yeah, I think you can probably tell that it's going to, it's coming from the north. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty easy to tell.
Okay. Well, there might be a way to the outside that way. Maybe that's where the orcs went. Maybe they left.
Makes sense to me. Well, let's head that way and confirm.
Is that okay with
Okay.
you, Carl?
I'm known for many things. Wisdom, not one of them. So I defer to you two. I go where you say.
Oh yes, we elves are known for our wisdom. That's for sure. Okay. We'll go north.
Okay. Yeah, you guys head north. You're moving, into that natural cavern. The walls again are going. This whole palace, remember, is made out of this like really nice marble. At this point, it's kind of this like rough kind of just earth and some stone. Even the ground, it looks like that they've thrown down like gravel so that too much water doesn't fill up the cavern. But so like as you're walking, it's kind of crunching. But you move up about 20 feet and you see again that what you thought was a passageway, what all you could sell is actually you shine their lantern in there and you see that there's actually a room. So there's a room to the east, which is your right. And in addition to that, the pathway continues north. But first, let me tell you what the room looks like. There's a small cave. It's filled with ornate and delicately carved life-size statues of different men and women. There are many candles and other burnt offerings lie before each of them, so on the ground. There are some marble benches in the center of the room, and they form a circle. Let's see. So it's not a particularly large space. It's about 25 foot diameter. It's not perfectly round, but it's like that. And you've got these statues of the various men and women. They've got like their arms reached out, and some of them are like just standing with the hand on the hips. It's like they're basically standing in heroic poses. None of them are armed. They're all just kind of in robes. They're clearly human based by the features that you can see. And like I said, in the center of the room, there's some marble benches forming a circle. And then in front of each of the statues, there's 7 statues. You can see that there's offerings. Some of the offerings look pretty fresh.
Oh, I'll look at Awasi and I'll say, "This looks like your kind of place. Is this a shrine to your god?"
Awasi will look around to see if she recognizes anything in the room, any of the statues or anything.
Okay. You can tell, as you're looking at it, that these are definitely some kind of ancient gods that maybe people worshipped. Remember, this castle is quite old. None of them are of the visages that you would know. So no Hastor or any of the gods that you would know that were in the battle of the gods. They all look, holy-ish, for lack of a better word, but none of them are obvious, just what they could be.
Well, these are all false gods, probably worshipped by those evil orcs or, other humans that come here to worship false deities. Of course, the only god that exists is Hastor.
Well, I mean, that's true. Are there any? Can I sense any like secret, like a priest's, maybe a priest's, little room or something off to the side? Can I sense anything in the room?
Okay. Yeah. So you kind of come in the room and look around a little bit with your elvish sensitivity to those things. Chat, roll me a d6. Your hands, your life is in the hands of the chat, not your life. So exclamation d6. Okay. Yeah, actually, you notice that one of the statues, the third one, so the one almost directly across from you, you can see that it's basically a woman, and she has her hands kind of up like this, and there's a hole in the hand, and you can kind of make out that looks like something in the hole, like something's kind of at the edge of it, but you can't really make out what it is without. Hey, Evil Jeff. So you can see there's something in the hand.
Oh, yeah. I will. I'll go over there and look. Kind of stand on my tiptoes and peek into the hand.
You're just gonna walk like around the room to it.
Valera will. Yeah, she will walk around the room too.
Yes,
I mean,
now
she's
now
gonna
she's
be
gonna
careful. I mean, she's gonna.
tiptoe.
I'm an elf. I'm
Yeah,
careful everywhere I walk.
You're gonna
Oh, yeah,
say
sure.
it like that.
You approach the statue and you kind of get up on your shoulders and you see there's seems to be a small piece of wood inside.
Piece of wood.
It is slender, about the size of a finger as far as the width of it. You don't know how long it is unless you pull it out, but you can see the tip of it.
Okay. I'm going to. Let me see what I got here.
Smell it. No, really.
Smell it.
No, really, smell it.
Well, smell it? You want me to smell the weird piece of wood?
Yeah, perhaps it is incense.
Oh, probably. I mean, what does it smell like?
Okay, so you're gonna get up and put your nose to the hole with the stick in it.
I can
So
lift
you
her
get-
up if she needs me to.
All right, so you're walking
You
in there
know
as
what?
well.
Wait.
Owasi
You
is going
know-
to watch the door.
Bears have a better sense of smell. Perhaps bears should smell it.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. So I reach up and I take the head of bear, and I go, "You heard the lady bear," and I pick the head up like this and hold it over. It's like, "Bear, does it smell like wood or something frou-frou like an elf would burn?"
No, you have the bear smell the hand with the hole, and it smells just like wood, like oak, very old, and well preserved, and a little bit of oil, like it's been oiled.
Put bear back on my head. It's not incense, according to bear.
Okay, well, we need something to, like, do you have anything like a tweezer? I don't really have anything. We need to, like, pull it out. It's like a splinter, right? So we need
No, it's
tweezers
right. Yeah, it's bigger than a splinter
in their hand. Right. But that's what I'm saying, is that we need to pull it out with something that's not our fingers. So,
I've got a dagger, I think. I start rummaging around in my pack.
yes, I'd rather not use my magic dagger, so if you could use your mundane dagger, please.
I don't have a dagger, it turns out. And then I look at Valera and I said, "Remind me to fix that later. Everybody needs a good one." So I pulled out an iron spike and I go, "Use this."
Okay, and I will use the iron spike to dig the big splinter out of the metal or the stone hand.
Okay, yeah. So you get the iron spike in there, and you're lifting it up, and you can see it's pulling up. I mean, eventually you're gonna have to grab it, otherwise it's gonna fall back in because it's pretty long as you start to drag it out.
Okay, I start dragging it up and I say, "All right, Carl, grab hold." And I smile at him.
I'll reach up and grab it and just pull it out.
Yeah, you pull out the splinter. It's about a foot long. It's narrowed and gnarled about the thickness of a finger. You can see that it is well oiled and sanded down, and you actually see that there is some like arcane symbols on it.
Ooh.
And as you do that, the statue itself that you pulled it from crumbles into salt on the ground.
Oh, well, that was unexpected.
do you have need of some seasoning? I know you humans like to salt your food.
While I'm a bit of a connoisseur of salt, I don't know that I want to use salt that's been A, down here that long, and B, used to build a statue out of.
I had a couple of vials of holy water earlier. I used one of those vials. Can I take the empty vial and fill it with some of that salt?
Sure, of course.
That's what I'm gonna do. So
Yeah,
now
you
I have a
can
vial of
list
salt.
it as god salt, goddess salt. So it's clearly a magic wand. I mean, you're a magic user. You would realize that. And reading the symbols, they seem to be symbols for light.
Ooh, very cool. I'll say this wand looks like can cast a light, some sort of light. I'm glad we
Salt is
reached in and got
sanitary.
it.
Salt is sanitary. It'll be fine. There you go. Right, it's a rock. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I was saying, but how was that magic wand holding the salt into a statue, though?
I mean, it's magic.
Uh, yeah, good point.
It can do what it likes.
I don't know much about the finger wiggling arts.
You do see the elf kind of wiggle her fingers. Well, I'm hoping maybe you can teach you some things. She'll say, okay, thank you for your help, Carl. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
Yeah, so being, again, a magic user, you would realize this is a wand, and of course, wands can just be used by magic users, so you would be able to activate it you would imagine by incanting the arcane word that's written on it.
Alrighty.
If you want to try it.
Perhaps not right this second, but I'm certainly going to keep it.
Okay. Otherwise, right, you've got 6 more statues in here. None of the other ones seem to have any kind of, compartments or whatever that you can see. Marble benches.
Are the offerings made? Are they just like Carl said, incense type things, or are there what kinds of things were burnt?
It looks like there is some, like, you can see scraps of paper, and of course, okay, everybody's name I'm forgetting for a second. Claire, Crystal's character, Awasi. Well, Awasi would know that, oftentimes people will write prayers on small scrolls and burn them as a means. So you see that. You also see some incense. You see some that look like they're just like candles. And you do see a few copper pieces, if you want to dig through what's there. Nothing seems to be food, which is also a common offering, but you don't see any there.
I'll look at Awasi and I'll say, do you burn prayers to your god too?
I have from time to time. Of course, Hastur is the only god that can hear, because Hastur is the only god that lives.
So he answers your prayers?
Of course. He always answers yes, no, or maybe.
Interesting. Okay, well. Onward, I guess.
Okay. Chad, if you could roll me a d6. So when you say onward, you're going to continue north?
I think so, yes.
Hastur is the magic 8-ball. Yes, exactly. Ask again later. We should use the magic 8-ball for the person. Okay, so you move up about 65 feet through this damp tunnel. Your feet are crunching in the gravel as you kind of move up. As I mentioned, you can tell too that it's damp. Like if you were to take some of your foot and like dig a little bit in the ground, you'd see like some water pools. So it's kind of damp in here. But you move about 60 or so feet up, and then the tunnel kind of turns almost back on itself. So it turns basically to the east, but then kind of heads south again. It goes about 40 or so feet, and then turns again directly east, and you're kind of in, for lack of a better word, we'll call it an intersection. There's kind of a wide 20-foot corridor. And again, these are all rough hewn, so it's all like dug from the ground. It's not perfect. So about a 20-foot wide corridor going north, directly north. There's the corridor going back, which is kind of like northwest, and then there's also a corridor going east.
Okay.
At this point, decide if you'll be able to. Yeah, you can tell that because you were concerned about that before, you can tell that the wind, as it would be, seems to be coming from that wide north passageway. It is still dark down here, though, and there's no sign of light or anything if you're...
We hear anything? That we still don't hear anything?
All right, you got Bill. Roll a d6 for me, chat. Uh, so exclamation point D6, someone in the chat for me. See if you hear anything. Chat's slacking on their rolls. There we go. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, you actually hear dripping from the north. Kind of a dripping sound. Like, drip, drip, drip. That's what a dripping sound is, I guess. I guess the word dripping sound probably would have worked. Just voice act.
It was good enough.
Well, what do you guys think? Continue north for now?
I think that's as good a way as any. If there is water up ahead, I mean, if there are orcs down here, they would need water, right?
Yes.
You have heard that orcs use water. All right, so you're heading up this corridor. It goes. Give me another D6 roll, chat. A lot of D6 rolls around here. Oh, Heart Sphere, Benno. Your roll didn't work. Try that again. As we come around this corner. So basically, you're heading to the okay, 5. You're heading up to the north about 60 feet, and then the passageway kind of there's a bit of like a not a collapse, but it gets narrow for a minute. And then it turns a little bit to the west, so it's kind of, you're in a bit of a windy passageway, and you end up in front of a portcullis, or a portcullis, depending on how you want to. Oops. I don't know how you want to pronounce that. So it is rusting, rusted and rusting as it sits there. You can see that just beyond it, with their lantern light shining through, it kind of slants down. Not super dramatically, but pretty dramatically, down into a cavern where the floor is very damp, and then kind of opens up into a small room where there's a pool of water. Looks like you can't really tell how deep it is at this point. It looks black, basically, with the light reflecting off of it. You can hear the dripping sound in there, and then on the other side of the pool, which is about 10 feet across, you see a statue. And that statue looks to be similar to what you saw in the other space, some kind of a human standing with arms out or whatever, you would imagine. But with the water having been dripping from the ceiling and everything, what it looks like is half like, like how stalactites and stalagmites form as like the lime or whatever. So the whole face is like got this like lime hanging off of it, and the arms are dripping down. So you can see the rough form of a human, but you can tell this thing's got like basically just calcified minerals all over it. Yeah, and that's about so that from where you're standing, that statue is like maybe 30 feet away. You got about 10-ish feet of like slanted corridor, a little bit of a pool, and then about 10 feet of water.
You said the portcullis was rusted?
It is rusted and down. You could try to lift it, but you realize, it will take some effort,
Right.
just like before. And you don't have that giant log anymore.
Right. I look at Carl and Awasi and I say, I don't know if orcs would have come this way unless they closed this behind them, but it looks pretty, like it hasn't been used. Maybe?
Right. Of course, it's also that statue is behind a portcullis, and we found a statue that had had that stick in it. This could have something similar. Why else would they lock it behind a portcullis?
And yeah, I think we should try to lift it. Not me. I'm not very strong.
I don't mind trying. Carl, can you lend me a hand?
Of course.
Let's see. I'm just looking at your strength. You actually might not. Oh, you have the halfling with you as well. Yeah, it's going to take all 4 of you to lift it. And because the halfling is only 2 feet tall, you're only able to lift it as tall as the halfling, because it will take all 4 of you to lift it. If you want to do that. So you can grab the portcullis and you lift it. And you can actually hear it going like like really ripping up, because it's so rusted. And every time you have to take a break and let the strength off of it, it doesn't fall back down. So you're really jamming this rusted portcullis up into the ceiling, and you get it about 2.5 feet off the ground, and that's about as high as the halfling can get it.
Okay.
So you could get under it, but you're gonna have to crawl. Well, the halfling can just walk under it.
We can crawl, but we'll iron spike it to make sure it doesn't fall down.
Okay, you can do that.
That'll work.
Just take some time to spike it. Chat, roll me a d6. What happened to the halfling? We don't hear about him much. He doesn't say much because he doesn't get paid to say much.
We don't pay him for his opinion.
Right. He only says something when they try to get him to do something that he doesn't want to do. Although the halfling is, he's leveling up here slowly but surely. He's going to take over the party. He's got his Franco Lynn. He has his lantern and his dagger. But yeah, you can grab a spike and jam it in so this thing won't fall down. You hope. And interesting. Okay, good. Good. Yeah. So again, you see this slippery, slopey, slanted passageway that's wet, and then it goes down to basically a puddle. That's you can see it's a puddle because you can actually see through it enough with the light. That's about maybe 5-6 feet wide, and then you've got what is clearly some kind of a pool of water. If you want to walk down there, you can, but it is very, very slick. So, as if you take your time and put your hand on the wall, you won't fall. But if you need to retreat out of here quickly, it will not be easy. And plus, you're climbing under the thing. Also, I realized I need a book. I'll be right back. I'm not going anywhere. But what do you guys want to do?
Awasi will go ahead and crawl under, and she wants to go look at the statue a little closer. She'll take her shepherd's crook and poke it in front of her in the water to make sure it's not too deep.
Okay, sure. Yeah, again, if you take your time, maybe using the crook in the wall, you move down towards the edge of the water. Is everybody staying back behind the portcullis, or are you staying in front of it? Where's everybody at?
I would probably crawl under the portcullis and just kind of watch Awasi for a second to make sure she gets down okay. I don't want to slip and fall and take her down with me. So
right, one at a time, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely can do that. And Franco Lynn says, "I'll stay here."
Yeah, I'll follow along with
All right,
them.
yeah. You guys kind of crawl through and make your way to the edge of the thing. You grab your shepherd's crook and you stick it into the water to see how deep it is. It's pretty deep, down to about 4 feet. And as you do it, the water starts to swirl up. Chat, roll me 2 6-sided dice. So just do it. 2 people roll d6, basically. I need to get a reaction roll, so I need 2 d6. I'm going to add them together. Oh, okay, good. Well, not good for the chat, because the chat wants this thing to kill you. Wow, okay. No, that's actually good. That's actually a positive reaction. Okay, so, forming up from the water, roughly in the shape of a man, the water's just pouring off like almost like a fountain pouring up and then making it into a shape of a man. You see this shape, this water forming, and it's 7-8 feet tall. You can see the light in the room is flickering because the halfling in the back is shaking as this water elemental, basically. I mean, you would know what that was. Forms in front of you, and it. Do you guys speak? Anybody speak elemental languages or anything like that?
No.
I do not.
Let's see if this thing speaks as a common tongue. Somebody roll me a d6 in the chat. We'll give it a 2 in 6 chance of speaking common because it's a. So lots of d6s in this. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, it does. It speaks to you, and it's like blah, 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 like it sounds like if you had a straw. I don't have my props here, and you were blowing bubbles into a soda. That's what it sounds like. But it seems to be standing there, and it's just kind of dripping, like its hands are dripping, and it's just kind of standing there, and it's wavering. Only high numbers tonight, Road. You roll high when you need them, and then low when you. It doesn't seem to be moving at you aggressively, but it's saying something to you. It's hard to really know. You would imagine it sounds aggressive, but that could also be partially because of the voice is so strange and alien to you. It's like that kind of thing.
Mm.
No extra charge for the sound effects.
I don't know what he's saying. Do you know what he's saying?
Awasi will hold up her hand and say, "Greetings."
Okay. So you hold up your hand in a friendly gesture.
Yes. Unfortunately, he takes that as aggressive and attacks.
No. It seems to like because it's big. It's like you can see that it stops talking for a second to listen to you, and then you can kind of tell it's kind of swashing back and forth. Like it doesn't really. It seems confused, because it clearly doesn't understand you. Oh.
Okay, I say we back out of here slowly. And
yeah, it doesn't seem aggressive, basically, from what you can tell. But you have at this point, you can't communicate with it.
Okay.
And you would know, even as relatively low-level adventurers, that an elemental is not necessarily. Oh, I am throwing out 0 kilobytes. I think we just lost the. Oh, we're coming back. Wow, that was a weird hiccup. Oh, that was a weird hiccup. Is the video buffering? Sorry, guys, I had a drop in my internet for some reason. So hopefully, oh no, they're calling you as chickens. Live to fight another day.
It must have been just on Twitch because you stayed here with us.
Yeah, it was OBS. It dropped to 0 kilobytes. So hopefully I'm back. I can see myself on Twitch. Yeah.
Okay.
It buffered for a second, but it's back. Okay, yeah, it just dropped to 0 and then it shot up to 7,000 or whatever. So I guess my internet's probably. But anyways, yeah, it doesn't seem to be aggressive at this moment, but you will not. You feel like you won't be able to get close to that statue without going into the water, and that is maybe not something you want to do. I'm not sure. You tell me.
Yeah. No, Awasi thinks we should just back out of here slowly.
Okay. I bow to the thing and then start backing away.
Okay. Yeah, you guys back away towards the thing, and then you just hear like somebody jumped into a pile, like a pool of water. There's like a splash, and then you look back, and the water's just settling, and it's gone.
Well, at least it didn't kill us.
Oh,
maybe
the
one
brave
day
Sir
we'll
Robin.
Bravely ran away. I'll say maybe one day we can learn how to speak to it, but I don't want to make it angry.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want to mess with a living puddle, that's for sure.
A living puddle. That's a good way to say it.
I heard of adventurers once who mess with living bubbles, and it didn't turn out well for them.
I too heard that story. Yeah. Not something I want to experience.
Okay. All right, yeah, so you guys back up and crawl back under the portcullis. It is still spiked, so it's staying there, no problem, so it's safe enough. From this place, there's really nowhere to go except back the way you came, unless you want to go again into the room with the water elemental, which it seems like you don't.
Oh no, we'll just go. We just go back to where we had the.
Okay.
Yeah. You see, Franklin, sometimes you must know when to not engage.
That is good advice that I will definitely follow. I appreciate your sageliness. And he kind of, does a little bow. So you head back down to the south, down to that kind of intersection again. You came from what is effectively the west. So the way to progress forward, assuming that's what you want to do, is to progress east through these kind of, again, natural caverns. And you move up about 30 or so feet, and you can see that because you're kind of moving like east, northeast, and you kind of move up and you get to a spot where it turns directly north with kind of a wide cavern, and directly south with kind of a narrow cavern. Ads. Oh, are we throwing ads at you? Make sure you buy stuff. Okay, so yeah. Chat, roll me a d6. Let's see, you guys are traveled again. You are getting very lucky with these, or lack thereof of encounters. Although you did just encounter a water elemental, so I guess that's well, the chat is letting me down today. All right, yeah, so you can see a path, again, a narrow path to the south. It's about 5 feet-ish, a little bit wider, and to the north, about 15-foot path to the north. All rough cavern. It kind of all looks the same, aside from the fact that one's wider than the other.
Isn't the north where we just came from?
You went north, then you came back down south, went east, and then you got another option. So it's running parallel to the cavern you just came from. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to go down the really thin passage, that's for sure. A little bit claustrophobic.
Okay.
All right, so you move a little bit to the north, about another 30 feet, and you can see that it does continue to the north, but it only continues about another 15 feet, and then it looks like it hits some kind of a collapse. But to your right, which would be the east, you see a passageway. So you've got like a collapse to the north, or you can go to the east, or of course you can go back down to that narrow passageway.
Does this collapse, like, does it look like it would take time to clear out, like a lot of time?
Yeah. Like it looks, you can go up and check it out. You go up and check it out. It looks like it's not just like rocks that have collapsed, like in a normal like castle. It's like literally the whole tunnel has collapsed, so it's just dirt. But you can see the tunnel at one time progress this way. But yeah, it would take days of labor to dig you, and to get through a few feet of it, and then you don't know what's beyond that.
Well, let's go east then. Maybe it'll circle back around.
If only there was a door. All right, yeah, so you guys go to the east. It doesn't take much before you actually encounter another passageway to the north. This passageway is actually a well-formed marble hallway like you've seen in the rest of the castle. But also, you could continue to go east. If you do that, though, it looks like it's a rough passage and seems to go a little bit to the southeast. So it's kind of like you're walking, you can either make a left and go up through a well-formed passage, or keep going basically straight to a rough passage.
Well, if I think the orcs would stay in the rough passage, right? They're not like civilized men.
No, that's true. Civilized men. Okay. If you want to go to the rough passage, I mean, either way, at this point, I don't know where to go. What do you think, Carl?
I'm not sure where to go at this point.
Well, we can go this way. We see what we see.
All right, let's go east.
Okay, down the rough passage. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you travel down about, it gets a little bit more narrow, but it's not, I mean, I don't know how narrow it would be before you decide to turn back, but it gets down to about 5 foot before you actually, it seems like it opens up into a room. But it's about 70 feet before you reach that, so let's actually get a chat. Give me another d6 roll. Let's see if we encounter anything here. Wow, you guys are, chat's killing me here, guys. I blame you, chat, by the way. I blame you. The party thanks you. Did you guys send them something? All right, it opens up into a cave.
We made.
This huge cave is filled with stalactites and stalagmites, covered with shimmering pink glow. So it's got a, at first you didn't notice it because you had your lantern brighter than the glow, but if you turn the lantern away a little bit and you look in there, you can still see this bit of a glow, phosphorescent, basically pink, on these stalagmites and stalactites. There's some places where they've actually formed into full columns. And you could definitely move around this cave, but it's pretty tight. So it's almost like, I don't want to say it's a maze, but there's like a lot of passageways going. You can generally go to the east or to the north, but you're going to be like kind of maneuvering through stalactites and stalagmites if you want to do that. And of course, you can see it's a bit damp here as well. Otherwise, there wouldn't be stalactites and stalagmites.
Yeah, I don't mind continuing a little bit further. I mean, this seems like to me the kind of place that an orc would hang out.
And it's pink glow.
Mm-hmm. Pink glue.
Okay. Where does the glow appear to be coming from? From the
There are the stalactites and stalagmites. I mean, you could probably. It's almost like a thin layer of like. Well, I'm not gonna say slime because it's gonna make you nervous, but it's basically the water that's dripping down on them that's forming it. It seems to have this glow about it. So it's almost like glowing water. Yeah.
If we look closer at the formation, does it look like there's oil or something iridescent in the water, or is it just the water itself?
Yeah, it looks like it's basically something in the water, like some kind of like iridescent oil or something.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. I used my staff. The water's is it very deep?
No, it's just damp floor in here. It's that same gravel, and the water's just kind of dripping very slowly down these stalagmites and stalactites.
All right, Awashi will lead the way through the stalagmites and the stalactites, and
Okay.
try and roughly continue the way we were going.
Okay. You move through a little bit, and you find yourself. It's kind of a bit of a maze, but it's not like you're going to get lost. You have a pretty good idea of where you're going, and you move through, and you actually feel like you're reaching a part where it's getting brighter, and perhaps that's because there's more water accumulated. As you know, the glow's coming from the water, and you kind of open up into what would be maybe described as a grotto. It's like a small area in here of just like the water and stuff. It's not very deep. But what you see in the grotto, kind of, it's maybe like 3 foot deep. You see sitting, kind of cross-legged, we'll say floating more or less on top of the water, a dozen tiny little men. And when I say tiny little men, I mean smaller than the halfling, even less than a foot tall. They are dressed princely in fashion, with bright, gaudy colors. And they too have a bit of a glow about them. And as you kind of come around the stalactites, and you come into this grotto and look, you see that they just kind of look at you, and then one of them stands up and says, he's standing up on the water, and he says, "Who enters the grotto without permission? Have you brought some treasure?"
Awasi, I guess, is entering first. We'll say, indeed, I do bring offerings to those in the grotto, and she'll take out her vial of salt.
Kind of narrows his eyes at you, and he says, "All those who wish to wish upon the wishing well must place a coin within. Do you wish to wish upon the wishing well?"
Yeah, sure.
"If you wish to wish upon the wishing well, you must place a coin within."
We found coins, right?
Mm-hmm.
We should have some coins.
Yes.
Carl takes a coin because he definitely wants to make a wish.
Yeah, Awasi will grab one as well. She's
Okay.
curious.
He says, "If you wish to wish upon the wishing well, you must place a coin within the wishing well and then wish your wish."
Okay.
What?
"If you wish to wish upon the wishing well, you must place a coin inside the wishing well and then wish your wish."
Where is the wishing well?
They're floating on it, right?
"If you wish to know where the wishing well is, you would have to wish at the wishing well, and if you want to wish at the wishing well, you must place a coin inside the wishing well to wish your wish."
I lean over to Valera and I go, "Wow, he's really good at this."
All right, I tell you what. I'm gonna put a coin in the grotto. May I approach the grotto to place a coin within?
You may do as you wish.
Okay. Awasi will approach the grotto, and she'll flip a coin into the grotto.
Did you
Okay.
make a wish?
And she will wish a wish. She will wish that she could find the great Catherine Damus that she has been searching so hard for.
Oh, you're gonna wish that wish aloud?
No, she's gonna wish it to herself.
Okay. Yeah. So the coin plunks into the grotto, and the little prince looks at you.
Carl will walk forward with 2 coins, and he says, do we know that he's obviously, did he proclaim himself to be some sort of prince?
He did not
No.
say anything about who his name was. No.
Okay. I just walk forward and I say, I shall cast 2 coins into the wishing well for the price of 1 wish. And I throw both the coins in there and will wish. And I don't care if it's loud or not. He says, I wish to know the location of the warrior woman known as Alega or Aliega.
Kind
Or-
of tilts his head to you. He doesn't respond.
I will walk in. I'll say, "Why are you glowing?"
You wish to know why I am glowing? If you wish to know why I am glowing, you will need to wish in the wishing well.
No, don't wish it. I just was asking. Conversation.
He kind of looks at you strange and tilts his head to the other side. Do you wish to wish?
No.
Okay. So those of you who wished with the least amount of money, which is you, because you didn't wish at all, the other 10, or 10 of the other, there's 11 of them, I guess, so the other 11 stand up, and they say, come, your wish will be fulfilled, and you are going to have to save against a charm spell. What level are you first?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah, all right. 2d6, 10 or better.
Oh, wait, hang on. Let me make sure.
And the shit, you don't get any kind of special thing to your elf, I don't think. You are an elf.
I'm
right?
I'm level 2.
You are? Okay. You're still normal. Level 3 or above is heroic. Right.
Okay.
So
Roll.
2d6. Yep, you're going to roll 2 6-siders. You want to get a 10 or better, or you will be compelled to walk into the water.
Okay. Yeah, I am compelled. I only got a 7.
Okay, yeah. So Valeria starts to walk towards the water. You can see that her face is like flat, and she just starts walking towards the little men, and they kind of like form like a half circle around to kind of give you space to walk towards the. What does everybody want to do, if anything?
Awasi will walk behind Valeria
Mm-hmm.
and like just kind of like be like she won't get like too close, but she's like also not gonna let Valeria just walk alone there.
Well, she's walking into the water, basically. She's walking towards the water. Do you want to follow her into the water?
Yes, I'll follow behind her into the water.
Well, what's Carl doing?
I don't know if I want to walk into the water. I'm going to observe just for a moment.
Okay.
I want to see what happens.
All right. You see, although the water is only a couple feet deep, you see Valeria walk in, and as she walks in, you see that she actually starts to go down as she's walking, like as if she's walking into a deeper pool. and the little men are just kind of staring at her with a smile as she's walking deeper into the water. She's like waist deep by the time she gets about 2 feet in. And of course, she's still going. And then she walks in 3 feet and she's shoulder deep. Are you
Okay,
gonna step into the water at this point? Yep, good.
Yep. Yeah, no, she gets shoulder deep. I'm gonna grab her by the shoulders and try and like stop her.
Okay, you gotta step in the water if you want to do that.
Yeah,
now she's 3 feet in. All right, if you jump in the water and try to grab her. How strong? You're 10 strength. How strong are you, Nikki?
7 strength.
Oh, all right, you're stronger than she is. Yeah, you're able to grab her, and you when you walk into the water though, you don't go down. So you run out 3 feet into the water to grab her, and like you're still full height, and you're like grabbing her shoulders. You have to like bend over to grab her. Like she's somehow deeper than she should be. And when you do that, the creatures all draw these tiny little daggers, and they get kind of evil grins on their faces. And we're about to go into combat because they do not want you to take their elf, which they are claiming. So we will. We're about to go into a fight with the little princes. There are 12 of them. They have little tiny daggers, and they're kind of cute, but at the same time, probably deadly. So let's state our actions, and then we'll roll initiative. So what does Carl want to do? You see these guys all draw their daggers, clearly with intent to attack the cleric.
Oh, well, that can't happen. Yeah, if they're gonna attack our cleric, then I'm moving into the water. I'm gonna draw my sword and move into the water.
All right, so you're gonna attack them, isn't it? And what about? Well, you can't do anything, Valeria. You are unfortunately charmed. And how about Awasi? Keeping note that if you let go of Valeria, then she's gonna walk into the water further.
Wasi's gonna keep hold of Valeria and try and pull her back a little further, and she'll like be yelling like, "Valeria, wake up!" and like maybe try and shake her if she can, but mostly she's just trying to pull her out of the water right now.
Awesome. All right. So they're obviously going to attack. They're actually going to attack Awasi, who seems to be the most obvious target. They are attacking as Lightfoot, but we'll roll initiative first, obviously. But that's their plan. Okay. Get my little book here. We're gonna roll initiative. Chat, roll me DC. They're already ahead of it. Tyler's on it. They rolled a 4. So go ahead. We'll say Nikki, because you're not gonna be able to do much else here. Go ahead and you can roll initiative for your side.
Okay. I roll a 2.
All right, they're gonna go first. Well, they get to move first. All melee is simultaneous. So they're gonna move up all around you. They're gonna surround Awasi. And attack. So how do you defend Awasi?
I defend his heavy foot.
Heavy, okay. You defend his heavy foot, they are light foot. So they are getting 1 die per 2 men. There's 12 of them, so they're getting 6 dice. Ooh, that does not bode well. Alright, so I need 6 dice. So I don't know if you can do, I gotta set this up so we can do multiple d6s. So in the chat, go ahead. You gotta space them out a little bit because it's a little bit slow. So roll me 6 dice. I need 6 of them. I'll take the first 6 rolls to come in. So chat, give me 6d6. This is actually going to be very bad if they take you out. Because you're going to lose the elf too. Okay, that's a 2. That misses. 1, that misses. Sorry, the chat's a little slow, so you might have to give it a second each time we do it. I thought we changed that, but I don't know how to fix it. It's like a delay on it.
Chat wanted
that's
blood.
1-6.
It looks like they're going to get a TPK.
They got 1. They might get what they want. That's 3. You have what? 3 hit die though, right? So you got to hit you 3 times. They've got they got 3. Oh, that's 2 6s. Oh no. A 1. I think that's 6. Hold on. I think you might have just made it. I think that's enough, chat. Let me roll back to see how many dice we have here. Where are we? I think that's okay. You guys can stop rolling. We got enough. Probably see where it started. That 4 was where you're. Okay, here's the initiative. And then we got 1 6, a 2, a 1, 2 6s. Oh no, that's 3 6s. Ooh, you're down. Right? You have 3 8 dice?
Yep,
Wasi?
that's right.
All right, Wasi goes down. She falls into the water. You're actually defeated, so you're not actually dead unless they take you away. Yeah, so they swarm you and they jump on it. So Carl, you see her let go of the elf. As you kind of charge at him, you've already declared that you're going to attack. So you are attacking as what?
I attack as 3 men.
What's your weapon though?
Oh, my weapon
You should
is
say next to it how you attack.
Oh, heavy foot.
Heavy foot,
Sword,
okay.
sword
All right, so you attack heavy foot against light foot. So you're going to roll 3 dice, and a 5 or a 6 is a kill.
Okay. Here we go.
Oh man. Come on, Carl.
I got 3 5s, dude.
Wow. Okay, so that kills 3 of the Nixies. You come in and you just hack through 3 of them, and it takes 10 Nixies to maintain the charm spell. There is only 9 remaining. So you come in and hack the 3 of them down, and Valeria, you suddenly spring up and you find yourself surrounded by these things in the pool. Awasi is laying in the water, bleeding at this point. And yeah, and you see Carl just hack down 3 of these things. They seem vicious, and see, this isn't fantasy. I think you're dead unless somebody throws a heal spell on you, and I don't think anybody has a heal spell, Awasi. I think you might be gone. I think you're going to be the halfling. But anyways, Valeria, you open your eyes, and you basically see that these 9 creatures are basically gathered around essentially you and Awasi, but Carl just came in from behind, just cut down 3 of them. So there's 9 of them surrounding you. What do you guys want to do? You're no longer charmed. So we'll declare actions. What would you like to do, Carl?
I'm going to keep on hacking.
All right, what's your plan, Valeria? Just so you can be the halfling. I'll send you the character sheet. he's about to get upgraded to a PC.
I have a dagger. I guess I will
Okay. Yeah,
have
unless you want to
to
use magic.
take one out.
Okay.
Oh yeah, actually, what's in my spell? Yeah, I'm
mean,
gonna cast sleep. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, that's effective. That means you definitely want to win initiative. Okay, so a spell's been declared, and if the no, it doesn't matter. They're all meleeing, so they actually can't defeat. They can't actually get you. You have to move. You have to win initiative and move to cast a spell. Remember that. So, I'll let you roll since it's on you. Chat, roll me 1d6 for an initiative.
All right, let's see what I got.
Crystal, I'm
5.
sending you that. 5. All right, chat, give me a d6. This is desperate. 2. All right, so you're going to get to go first. Valeria moves out of the melee so she can cast her spell. And then the next thing that happens is spell casting, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Well, I
Destiny,
don't think I
because she
can move. I don't think I can move and cast in the same round. So.
They can. You can move and cast the same round. Yep, and this you can. You just can't. You just can't cast if you're in melee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
so you can cast.
I will cast the sleep spell.
All right. Fortunately for you, these guys are only 1 hit dice, so Carl, even being in the middle of it, is not going to get affected. Sorry, I'm looking up the spell. This is, by the way, for anybody watching that this is my first time or whatever, we're using a hack, essentially, of original Dungeons & Dragons, so it's modified a bit, so I'm just looking up the spell quickly. It might be enough to take them all out. I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. You probably have to roll, I'm guessing. Let's see. First level magic user spell, sleep. Okay, they're first level type, so 3 to 18. So roll 3d6, and you'll take out that many of them, and there are 9 of them, so.
Okay. If I just pulled it up. 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9. Exactly.
All right. Sorry, chat. You've while you managed to slay Crystal's cleric, who's laying bloody in the pool, unfortunately, the magic user Wait, well, you tell me how you do it.
Oh, yeah, I will look at the Nixies. I know they tried to charm me, as I am a magic user as well. I will just say, or they did charm me, not try to. I'll say that was not the best decision you've ever made in your lives. And yeah, I will draw my hand across my eyes and say, sleep. And they will sleep.
Nice. Yeah, so sand drips from the ceiling, and they yawn, and the little princes fall. And as they fall into the water, they they disappear into the water. They splash into the water, and like the water gets even more pink and kind of warm and fuzzy. Of course, the three dead ones are laying on the shore, as is unfortunately your friend. Did you get that? I put a screenshot. I put it in the Zoom chat, Crystal. Are you able to read that? Or
I got
okay.
it.
Sorry, it's not a full PDF, but
It's fine.
yeah.
Oh, I want to get out of the water. I'll drag Awasi with me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fortunately,
but
she's
I do.
wounded.
Yeah, I'll get out of the water, and I'll take her shepherd's crook and say, "Well, maybe if we find Catherine Damus, I could tell him how much of a fan you were. I'm sorry, Awasi." What I'll say.
Franklin will cowerly come out from where he was hiding and say, "Oh, it's really too bad about Awasi, but that was amazing, Valeria."
For an equal share of treasure, I will join the party.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Franklin. I feel strange. I feel sad that she's gone. I hope she was right about Hastur, and right now she's tending his sheep. That's what they do, right, Carl? They tend his sheep. I'm sorry, Carl.
Yes, very sad. Anyway,
Franklin don't care. He just got promoted. Don't break him
I
down.
will. I will actually take Awasi's vial of salt that she had. I will kind of. I don't know human rituals, so I'll kind of dump it on her body and say, for Hastur. And then I want to take a sample of the Nixie's water in the vial, the now empty vial. Yep.
Definitely. Go ahead and roll a d4 in the chat, guys. 1d4. So exclamation point d4 on the chat, and we'll see if we can get how many of these gems are in here. 1. Okay, and roll a d6 now. Oh, we got another d4. Somebody do me a d6. Try a d6. So exclamation point d6. 2. All right. There, you do notice as you're scooping up that there is sitting in the water, a pretty large gem. It's actually like a piece of like pink quartz.
Oh. I will grab it.
Okay, yeah, you can use the shepherd's hook to crook to
Yeah.
it out.
Just gonna crook it out.
All right, it's pretty big. I mean, it probably weighs like 5 pounds. I mean, it's a big chunk of quartz, and it has a bit of this kind of soft pink glow to it. And it is, it's valuable. It's worth 2,000 gold pieces. So,
Yeah.
you lost a friend, but you got some gold pieces.
Yeah, I don't know. Rather have the friend.
Yeah.
But this is the adventuring life.
Yes, and it's pretty. Just kind of holds it up in both hands.
Yeah. You give it to Franco Lynn, who carries all the treasure.
Yeah.
It was all part of. It was all part of Crystal's master plan to get that gem in her pocket.
Yeah.
Franklin would like to search the bodies of these.
Of the Nixies?
Of the Nixies, yeah.
They have little tiny daggers that seem to be silver. They're basically, even to a halfling, they're like knives. I mean, they're tiny, but they are silver, so could be valuable. We'll say they're worth 10 gold pieces apiece.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he'll pocket those.
I hand one. I suggest Valera taking one in case she needs to dig something out of a, a statue's palm again. It's like this would be the perfect size.
You know, you're right. It's
Ah.
very, I'll take two and then I can use them like tweezers. That's what I'll do. Two teeny daggers, two teeny tweezer daggers.
That'll work.
You put them together like the grandma scissors that they have that they fold out.
Exactly.
Well, as they say, sometimes delicate things require delicate hands, and sometimes they require delicate blades.
Indeed. All right, awesome. So so you guys are able to do that. It takes a while you're collecting all that stuff and doing your little ceremonies there, some time goes by. So chat, roll me a d6 to see if as you're leaving this room, if you encounter anything. Basically, you had reached the back side of the room, so. Oh, fun. Okay, good. So you're coming out of this room, and, sad about your friend, but happy about the giant piece of quartz. And,
So as far as the wish goes, do we get any kind of premonitions or anything?
yeah, you wish.
I'll see how it is.
Roll me one more d6 in the chat there. Oh. Well, I mean, you've already, as you're kind of coming out of this passageway, you encounter the bear again.
Oh.
Yeah. And you had left that pretty positive last time. So, he's kind of coming up, and he says, I see that you must have opened that gate back there. Oh, actually, you don't speak bear unless you turn into a bear. So he goes, which is positive. Yeah, I mean, you left on a really good reaction last time, so I'm not.
Yeah, I just don't know how many times I can use this bear form, so I'm a little leery.
That's right, you don't.
Just,
this is correct.
I don't want to use it now, and then when I really need it. So I just kind of give him a wave.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first, then I look at Valera. I say, should I, or do we just kind of wave politely and move on?
You can talk to the bear on your head, right?
Ah!
And he can probably talk to the bear.
I reach up and smack myself in the forehead, and I say, what did he say, bear?
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What? Who?
Ask him what he
says,
just said.
He said you opened up the grate, and the water there tastes delicious.
Oh. Tell him he's welcome.
He ate the elemental?
Maybe.
I think he might have drank the elemental. I say to Carl and Franklin.
But,
I'm like backing away slowly in case the bear suddenly explodes.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be.
I don't really know what to say about this.
Yeah, the bear mentions that, and then he says he smelled you, so he came in this direction, to find you, just to thank you for the water. But then he kind of turns around and walks back. I mean, unless you want to solicit any more information from the bear.
No, I think I'm just going to let him go.
All right, yeah, he goes back. All right, so, where you encounter the bear, you're basically in that intersection where if you go to the north, you've got like a well-formed, again, marble hallway like what you saw above you. Just generally in this area, there is, if you went back a bit, there's that narrow passageway that Awasi didn't want to go down. But otherwise, it seems like you go all the ways back. There was another passageway too. But if you want to continue kind of forward, north would be forward to you.
I look at Carl and Franklin. I say, how much of the elemental do you think he drank? Do you think we could reach that statue now?
Well, I would definitely be willing to stand outside the portcullis and hold the light up for you if you want to investigate.
I mean, we don't have to. I was just thinking.
I mean, Franklin's only getting like 4 gold pieces a day, but maybe you can offer him a chunk of that quartz.
Oh, whatever we get, we'll share with you.
Well, I mean, it's not the worst idea.
We could just go see. If there's still a lot of water in there, we just come back.
Okay. I mean, if you go there, I mean, you're not mapping or anything because you already know how to get there, so you can be pretty quick. You head back in that direction, essentially going back towards the, essentially heading west, kind of goes south, and it goes north again. You see the portcullis is still up. No, I mean, there's still a significant amount of water in there. And the bear couldn't have drank that much for you. Unless you go down to the actual pond or touch it or whatever, the elemental doesn't come back up. It just, you can see there's still water in there.
Okay, yeah, then we don't want to do that.
It drank the entire...
I mean, that would have been funny.
Oh, I got such a headache. I drank an entire elemental last night.
Never put anything past a bear.
That's also true, yeah. Okay, so, right. So, again, just to roll back, when you first came into this kind of new section that was rough caves, you went to the north. There was a path to the south that you didn't explore, but now that's pretty far back. From where you are now, you've got that skinny passageway that the cleric didn't want to investigate to the south, or you could go a little bit, more to the east, and there's the fully formed marble, nice passageway to the north.
Mm-hmm. Carl, Franklin, maybe we should try the nice one. Maybe we'll find something nice.
He motions with his hand as if to say, lead the way.
Oh, I don't lead the way. I'm a magic user. You have to now.
Oh. That's a good point. I never thought of it that way. So he pulls his sword and he starts down the...
Don't worry, I'll be right behind you two with this lantern.
Right.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, because you have no armor, Franklin. We gotta get you some armor. All right, so you come up and you enter into this nicely made corridor. It goes about 40 feet to the north, then turns to the east. You proceed down. There is a door. It's just like all the other doors you've seen. Solid oak, banded with iron. It's closed. And again, this hallway seems relatively dry. Let's see between all of that. Let's get a D6 roll from the chat. And yeah, so you're at the door. You gotta listen at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's why I asked for the chat. Okay. It's quiet.
Is it locked?
It does not appear to be locked. No, there's not even like a keyhole. It's just basically a handle.
Carl, I say, well, we either have to go in or go back. So.
Well, I mean, we've already come down this far, so.
Yep.
Drink the water, you get the powers of sand from Wonder Twins. He would always turn into water. A bucket of water. Sorry, you gonna go through the door?
Yeah, sure.
All right, yeah. So you open up the door, and again, you have a lantern, so light shines forth. You're looking into a well-formed room. It is 30-foot square. In the center of the room, it's an empty room for the most part, but in the center of the room, there is in fact a large bowl. It is bronze. It almost looks like a, size-wise, it's like a bird bath, so it's pretty big. It's bronze, and it has arcane runes carved around the edges of it.
I'll look around the bowl and the rest of the room to make sure that I don't see anything that looks dangerous.
Okay. All right.
And then
Chat.
Oh, sorry.
Chat, roll me. No, it's fine. Just so I get ahead of myself. Chat, roll me 2 6-siders. Okay. Yeah, nothing looks dangerous. The room seems unoccupied, except for the bowl.
So then I call Valera in and point out the runes on the bowl,
Yep.
and I say this looks like your expertise.
I mean, possibly. Sometimes I can read them, and sometimes I can't. Can I read them?
Yeah, you step
Or
into
do
the
I
room to kind
recognize
of,
them?
yeah, you kind of come close to it, and Franklin, I guess, is kind of coming so you can shine the lantern a bit, at least a little closer. And you are looking at the edge of it, and as you look out of the corner of your eye, you see on the north wall there appears to be basically you see like a crack in the wall in a rectangular shape that we would imagine is some kind of a secret passageway.
Oh. I would
What
say
do you
I
know?
have my dagger too that has light too, just so you know. I'm a little bit of light
Okay,
anyway. Light candlelight.
that's
But I would look at Carl and Franklin and say, "There's a secret. Look over there." And I point it out.
if you point it out, you guys can see that there's a bit of a door there. So far as the bowl, it seems to have the arcane symbols representing water and leadership.
Water and leadership. I look at Carl and Franklin and say, "What do you think would happen if I poured the Nixie water in there?"
What do I think would happen?
Mhm.
You are barking up the wrong tree, madam. I don't have the first clue.
Oh yeah.
I, I, I am ignorant in the ways of magic.
Water and leadership. We have water, but I don't know about the other part. We'll try experiment. I want to pour regular water in there first.
Like drinking water.
Yes, like from the pouch that I have.
Fair enough.
And I'll wiggle my fingers when I do it. For
For
Carl.
effect.
Yeah, I'll pour and wiggle. Pour and wiggle. Yep.
The water fills the bottom of the bowl. Your finger wiggling does not seem to be affecting it,
Okay.
as far as you can tell.
Can I dump it? Like, is it dumpable?
Yeah, you know, when you go to lift it, like, it's pretty heavy. Like, this thing weighs probably like 15, 20 pounds.
Oh.
So, but you definitely can, like, lift it up and tip it over.
Yeah, I don't want to actually pick it up. I just want to tip it, and then I'll put it
Yeah.
back. This time, I want to try the Nixie water.
Interesting. Okay.
I
You
mean,
do
that
that.
guy seemed like he was a leader.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
You pour the Nixie water in, and it actually kind of like spreads out really rapidly and coats the bottom of it, but then kind of slides back in, and it almost like gels up, like almost like it's rejecting it.
Okay. I'll put as much as I can back in the vial. You know, it's like gel. I'm like trying to
Scoop up the gel.
and I'll say, "We're close. Something's gonna go here. I feel it. We just have to find the correct thing." Oh, I wish Awasi were still around. She might know.
So
Water and leadership.
we used regular water and we did use the Nixie water.
Yes.
Water and leadership.
Yeah. Wrote that down. Okay.
Well, hold on. So the water that the bowl rejected was the
Nixie water. Yeah, the drinking water didn't do anything.
okay.
And the Nixie water kind of spread out and then turned into a weird jello.
So you have been providing us with guidance as we explore this place, have you not?
I mean, a little, I guess. Yes.
So pour the regular water in the bowl and then place your hand in the bowl.
Are you
I
a
love that she
blacksmith?
laughed nervously.
Are you a blacksmith? Can you make me a new hand if I lose mine?
I don't think you'll lose your hand. If anything, it'll just reject it as it did the Nixie water.
I don't want a jello hand. She's literal. No, okay. I'll pour the regular water in, and then I'll put my hand in the bowl. Why not?
Yes, that way it will have both water and leadership in the bowl.
Very good. Good idea, Carl.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you pour the water into the bowl. A little bit more of your water, and you stick your hand into it. You don't feel anything. You leave it in for a minute. You swirl around your fingers. It doesn't seem to be making a difference.
Okay. Well.
Except for the reaction to the Nixie water, the bowl itself, and the fact that it's marked with arcane runes, the bowl itself seems, to be acting in a very mundane way to just like your hand. Like it's not doing anything it does.
All right, but it was a good idea. A good thing to try.
Yes.
So.
Perhaps there's a word we must speak or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe. I take my hand out of the water and
Okay.
I'll say the Elvish word for leadership. Whatever that
Okay. It's leadership with an accent. With an Elvish accent, which we don't know what that's. So
leadership.
Leadership. Yeah, you speak the Elvish word to leadership. It doesn't seem to be affecting the bowl. The bowl just seems to be.
I think a special water is the key, because it did look like it was examining the Nixie water, if that's the best way I can put it, but it just rejected it. So perhaps we'll find something. Maybe through this secret crack.
Maybe some of that elemental water.
Oh, perhaps.
Or the waterman water.
Ooh. Maybe. But that would be very risky. That'll be the last resort.
Evil Jeff is like, a gel head might be awesome. Become a thief, you can mold your fingers into a key.
Maybe.
Or you just have a floppy gel hand.
Well, we will. That's a good idea, Franklin, and I think you might be onto something there. But right now, I'm not going to risk that, because that elementals are, watermen, as you call them, can be very cranky, and I don't want to upset him too much.
Yeah, me either.
All right, let's see where if you okay with you guys, I'd like to explore the secret passageway or whatever.
Right behind you.
All right. Yeah, you're able to open. It's just literally one of those ones you just push on and it pops up. And you're looking down a corridor. It only goes about 20 feet to the north, and then it turns to the west, so to the left. And chat, give me a d6. Assuming that you're going to head to the west. It runs about, about 40 feet, and then opens up into a room. And this room is, it's formed with marble like the others. You can see that there's like some small niches all around the walls, all around it. It seems like at one point maybe there was some kind of wooden structure in here that is long since deteriorated. But when you look up, you can actually see 20 feet above you in the ceiling, there is what is essentially a trapdoor. Excuse me. And it's open, you think, because you see the hinges, you can see it flipped up. And you can when you look up, you can actually see light. Like there's a lit room above you. It's about 20 feet up to this trapdoor. And other than that, the room's empty.
20 feet up to the trapdoor, you said?
Yep, 20 feet up, you see a trapdoor. There's basically you can see just like the hinges, and it's opened. So it obviously opens that way.
So somebody went out. Probably recently. That's what I say to Carl.
Yeah, I mean, and if you look up in there, I mean, you can see that whatever's up there, there's some kind of a room that is has windows or something, you would imagine, because there's light coming in. And the top of you can see the ceiling is like marble, white marble, like the rest of the place. So it's like you're looking up at a complete ceiling above you, not the sky or anything.
Okay. Is there a ladder of any kind along the walls or anything?
No, you don't see a ladder. However, as you're looking up there, you do see, like, you see the hinges from the trapdoor. You actually see what appears to be some kind of a, like these two, like, metal, staples, for lack of a better word, basically in the ceiling. And there is rope wrapped around those, but it seems to go up into the thing. As if there's something up there, like a rope that would dangle down, but it's currently in that room above you.
Somebody pulled it up. Okay. Or it's been pulled up somehow. How tall are you, Carl?
I don't know. How tall am I? Doesn't really say. I would say average height, so 6', 6'1".
Okay, and I'm about 4'11", 5 foot as a little elf. And Chris and Franklin, you're
2 feet.
2 feet. How long was Watsi's shepherd's crook? If I climb on Carl, if Franklin climbs on me, and we pull over the shepherd's crook, maybe we can drag the ladder down.
I mean, that seems reasonable. I am never opposed to a cheerleading stunt. However,
The good news is they're both not heavy, so
right.
I should.
You got 13 strength. Yeah, you're good.
Wait a minute.
What?
How tall would I be at the shoulders if I were a bear?
Oh, you'd be pretty tall, right? Because you'd be stronger as well.
You could turn into a bear and
you'd be at least 2 feet taller, I would imagine.
And I could stand up and do like this, and you could sit on the shoulders of bear.
Then Franklin on me, and Shepard cook the ladder down.
You may not even have to go with Franklin. What do you say?
This is a good plan. I like this plan.
Yeah, I think that a bear is pretty tall. So I think with the shepherd's crook, you wouldn't have to involve Franklin unless you want to.
They're like 7 feet. If it's like a grizzly, they're like 7 or 8 feet tall when they stand up.
Yeah, and you can stretch up, and you got the crook, which is probably another, like, it's like a 6 foot crook or something. So
if I screw up and fall, I'm gonna drop 2 people. So
no, I think you're probably fine. I don't think you'll have a problem as a bear holding somebody up.
No, not as a bear. I'm talking about if I tried to do it as Carl, I'd have to try and balance 3 people. So yeah, so I'm like, okay, well, get ready, and I use the only words I know that make it work, and I say, "Go get him, bear."
That is the words. Yes, you pull the thing up, you say, "Go get him, bear," and then your hands expand and you turn into a grizzly.
So I dip my head down for Valera to be able to straddle across the back of my neck.
Oh my word! A grizzly could be up to 10 feet tall. That's it. You're big. All right, so you're Sorry.
Oh, no, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. So you can easily make it.
Yeah, I'll say stay in bear form for a second because whatever's up there might still be up there. We might need your bear self. So just so you know.
Except you won't be able to climb the ladder in bear form. I mean, maybe.
I just go.
Do tricks like that.
I just go like that.
Yeah, don't de-bear yet. And I will climb up the bear, or he'll lift me. And
all right, yeah. Roll 3d6 under your dex.
Okay.
No, Valeria. Yeah, you should be strong enough. I think as a bear, I don't think that's gonna be a problem.
Okay, yeah. My dex is 13, so.
Yeah, see if you can roll
3d6 under. Okay. 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 2 is 9. So
Okay, yeah. So you're easily grab it and pull it down very gracefully. I mean, you would have got it anyway, but it might have fell off the bear. Yeah, and when
Okay.
you pull, you kind of like step back out of the way as a rope ladder, slap, and slits on the ground. It probably hits the bear a little bit, but it doesn't really affect you. It's it's made of sturdy rope. Quick looking at it, it seems to be fairly new, like definitely not 3,000 years old. I mean, it looks like it's, if not like made today, but it's definitely not old.
okay. Do we hear anything like? Obviously, I've disturbed whatever's up there if there's anything up there. So.
Okay, so you're gonna listen. Chat,
Yeah.
roll me a d6 for the listen. Okay, yeah, you listen. It sounds quiet. Let me just check to make sure if you would hear something. No, it's quiet.
Okay. Can you climb in bear form or not, Carl?
Carl lumbers over to the ladder and he takes his huge bear paw and he like pushes on the ladder this way to test and see how strong it is.
Yeah, you weigh a lot. You would
Yeah.
think that it would probably tear the ladder down.
Yeah. I just kind of look back over my shoulder. I'm assuming you're still up there. So,
Yeah.
I mean, because why not? He looks back over his shoulder and he's like, like that.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, if you want to try to climb it, just so that it's everything's transparent, it is going to be a 50-50 chance that the thing breaks.
yeah, I don't want it to
So-
break after we got it down.
So you definitely want to be the last one up, basically. But of course, if it breaks, then you're going to be at the bottom with no rope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to do it, but I'll say, okay, let me just, if I die, I guess I'm gonna climb up the ladder.
If you die, the chat will be happy.
That's right.
They've already taken some blood this session, so they're feeling positive. It's not me, it's the chat. So yeah, you're able to make your way up the rope ladder pretty easily. You're looking into you come up into what appears to be some kind of a. You feel like you're higher than you should be, and that's probably because you are sloping up. You really just probably couldn't really tell. No dwarf or anything in the party. So, because then when you get up there, you're in basically like a guard tower, and there's windows all around. You can kind of see the crumbled castle around you. So let's see. Watchtower room is 6 windows overlooking the surrounding lands. So you actually look out and you see that other tower that you stayed in the night before. It's down like kind of to your south. Let's see. Trapdoor in the center of the floor, rope ladder, which you just dealt with. You do notice there's a door in here, and the door is closed, and there are 2 arrows stuck in the door. So the room itself is like a 30-foot square, just like the one below it. The door is on the east wall at the northern corner, and there are 2 arrows stuck into the door.
Oh, okay. Is there anybody in the room? Are there any bodies on the floor?
No. But now that you're up here, because you're much closer now, you do actually hear what you think is a little bit of a scuffle happening outside the door. And yeah.
Okay. I'm going to gesture with my dagger of light for the other 2 to come up as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so I'll obviously de-bear and then make my way up there.
So as you guys are climbing up, because you got to de-bear and climb, whatever, you're still up there, Valerian, you're listening, and you can start to actually hear voices very softly. It seems to be, you hear 3 distinctive voices. They seem to be, and you hear ting, ting, like metal touching, and you hear, say, back, you shouldn't be here. You knave, and they're basically, sounds like there's like a sword fight going on in the corridor.
Okay.
They're speaking in human dialect. Although, especially being an elf, so you're a bit older, you would recognize that this is a kind of the accent is very strange and old.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't want to do anything until I have some muscle. So.
Okay, yeah. I mean, by the time everybody gets up there, it's actually pretty loud at this point, and you guys can both hear it, Franco, Lynn, and Carl. You can hear what appears to be some kind of sword fight in the hallway. You hear ching ching and voices. And again, they're speaking the common tongue, but they have very strange accent.
It's an older code, sir, but it checks out. It's old, and I think we should. I don't know. What do you think, Carl? Franklin, I'm assuming that you will follow us.
Yeah, of course. I'll be behind you all the way.
Good, Franklin.
I just kind of whisper back to you, and I'm just like, well, I don't know. Should we disturb them or let them finish their duel?
The thing is that the language or the dialect or the accent is very old. I'm wondering if this is one of those weird. I've heard of these things where they're like trapped in an never-ending duel until the end of time, kind of thing.
That would grow boring.
Yeah, it would be very boring. But I have heard of that before. I don't know.
Well, let's either watch them or walk out there and interrupt them.
This is the only way out of the room, right, Daniel?
You could go out the windows, I suppose, if you wanted to climb down. But yeah, as far as staying on this level, yeah. I mean, you could climb down the side of the building, essentially. But there's nowhere. If you climb out there, you're just into the outer part of the castle, basically. You'll go into the dried-up moat. Okay. Or the rooftop, I suppose.
I mean, or we could go back down, I suppose. But we're here. I kind of want to see what's happening. We'll open the door. I'll open the door just to crack and like peek.
Okay. Yeah, when you open the door, it's like a blinding light. It's like amazingly bright light kind of comes through the door, and you're just kind of like, your eyes blink for a minute, and then when you look in there, you see three swords that seem to be fighting each other in midair. And you hear voices kind of coming from, seems like nowhere, as these swords are clashing. They're kind of like between you and what would seem to be the one of the exits anyways. Basically, you're it's a corridor that's about 30 feet long from north to south. You're coming in at you're at the northern part of it. Right to your left on the north wall there's a door, but the swords are fighting in the middle of the corridor, and at the southern end of the hall there's another door. So if you want to go to that door, you'd have to get through where the swords are. But if you want to go through the northern door, they're not in your way. And they don't seem to make any sign that you're there. No, not at first.
I look at Carl.
Because you only open the door crack.
Right, yeah, I kind of shut it. And I'll say, there's three swords fighting in there. Just swords.
Perhaps they're apparitions or some sort of magical... I've heard tell of magical blades that can think for themselves. These two chaps seem to be at odds with one another.
Three,
excuse me, these three chaps. So the question bears, do we wish to disturb? I see what you did there. The question is, do we wish to disturb these blades, or do we wish to go out the other way where we can do so?
Yeah, we could probably get to the north door before they could come at us. Maybe.
But
the question: do you want a magic sword?
I don't know. I don't know if I want one that's smarter than I am.
Oh. Well.
By the way, here's the the drawing. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool.
Does it appear to be two swords fighting one sword?
Oh, I mean, you'd have to open the door and look again. It was hard to say. They were just clashing. You know, when you saw. So, if you want to peek again.
I'll look at Franklin first. I'll say, do you want a magic sword?
Well, I'm not sure I could wield a full sword. I mean, I'm only 2 feet tall.
True. It's magic, though. It might shrink when you touch it.
Well, I mean, if there were a magic sword available, you know, I don't ask for much around here. And I, only get paid 4 gold pieces a day.
All right, take a look, Carl. Tell me what you think.
So I peek in and I do one of these bits to look at the sword to see if does it look like it's a fair or unfair fight?
Okay. Chat, roll me a d6 to see if they notice you at this point, because you.
Yep.
Let's get exclamation point d6. See if the swords notice Carl. Carl.
Cool.
Yes.
Do it.
All right. Yeah, when you open the door, you don't know if they see you or not, but when you open the door to observe, you do notice that they start moving towards you. It is a one sword that appears to be like a long sword, like a sword that could be wielded with 1 or 2 hands, basically, fighting against 2 smaller swords, like an arming sword and a short sword. And they're now moving close to the door. If you were to rush through the door to the north right now, you might be able to get through it before they get to you. Otherwise, they're probably going to be blocking your way in about 5 seconds. And actually, all 3 of you might not make it, even if you were to run now. Or you could obviously interact with the swords in some other way, obviously.
Well,
and there is a door to the south of this corridor.
The last time I was nice to something magical, I got a cloak that turns me into a bear. And I start flicking my eyebrows.
All right. Be nice.
Okay, so I'll grab the handle to the door and I'll just throw the door open.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll step into the hallway as these swords are fighting, and I'll just be like, Gentlemen, hold these shenanigans for just a moment. What
Fantastic.
goes on here?
Well, you know what that means. This seems the perfect time to stop.
Yeah. Oh.
So, as the door flies open and our fighter steps through, calling out to the magical swords, there's a moment where they pause their combat, and we'll be back in a month to see what happens.
Oh, man.
So thanks, everybody. If you're not subscribed, or I don't know what they call it, following this channel, please do. We are every first Sunday of the month, so I didn't look at a calendar, but that's somebody probably could tell me, or I'll look really quickly. I'm gonna it looks like December 5th. December 5th we'll be back with this. Also, there is a Discord for AdoramaXP. Join that because there's a room in there, Daniel's D&D room, and we chat in there about this, and you guys can talk about how you want to kill the poor player characters. This is gonna be like The Walking Dead, where there's a little thing at the end of Awasi, the cleric looking for hope in Hastur and sheep. Thanks guys for playing. Thanks you for watching, and yeah, we'll see you in a month.